the Bible is a book of consciousness. It has many fingerprints. And yes, I am very careful with the religious aspect to it. Very careful. Like, you know what I mean? But it's a book of consciousness. And when you look at it as a book of consciousness, and you learn how to read the parables, or seek someone who knows how to read the parables and the ciphers, then you're able to say, wow. And if you read other books that stem from this, use your own discernment of wisdom. Use your own discernment of wisdom. But the point is that when you give source the burdens or the worries or the action steps or the feelings or everything, just show me what to do, what to say, whatever, then you will receive the perfect thing to say and do. So God, again, my discernment, used Jesus as a point of reference to humanize the power of God and show everyone through miracles and through teachings the point of reference, because it had to be relatable to the humans. So if it was some dinosaur that was like Jesus Christ was some dinosaur, then it would be like, that's almost like it's not relatable, because that we don't see ourselves in this. It's more like an extraterrestrial or an alien, an alien. I had another dream that I want to share with you, that I wanted to know the capacity of God. So I had this dream where I was floating in space, and it was like, when I say infinite, like, I mean, it was like I was just a little dot floating like this. It was like my consciousness, right, was floating. And I saw galaxies, 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 galaxies. But I was like traveling like this from one side of the screen to the other side of the screen, and it was just never ending. It was never ending. And then I heard this voice that was like, yeah, I control all of that. And it was like, wow. It was very, very humbling. It was very, very humbling. Okay. So the physical world is here for us to live in, but not to depend on. All is mind. Remember that. All is mind. That is where your real power is. So I want to do another exercise. Okay. Just to show you how dependent we can be with our five senses, and how quickly we can be swayed and distracted, which we must always remain rooted in truth. Would you still be alive? Let's say you lost all your five senses: your sight, your smell, your taste, your hearing, your touching, your feeling. Yeah, your physical touch. This is called dropping the world. So there's a lot of songs that say drop the world, right? This is what they're referring to. Would you still be alive? Well, of course you would still be alive, but you would be so dependent on your imagination. Your imagination would actually be your reality. And some may think that would be better, some may not. But the point is that would you still be alive? Of course you'd still be alive. But here's the thing. Use them both together. Start first principle thinking. Start with the knowingness that everything is spirit. And then use that to manifest in the physical. That's how it should be done. So it was just a little exercise to know that, yes, we're still alive, very much so, but how dependent we are and how influenced we can easily be through what we see, hear, taste, touch, and feel. So it is like a lot of these groups, Illuminati, whatever, they inverse the reality a lot of the times. You know, the all-seeing eye. It's like, because a lot of what we see, we depend on a lot of what we see. What we see with our eye. But I mean, if we were to take our eyesight off, just lose sight, we would still be alive, but we'd be seeing with our imagination, with our mind's eye, with our mind's eye. All right, anything that is not based on good intention will self-destruct because it doesn't have good nutrients to be self-sustaining. So source will simply siphon the energy flow from the malintended, from the bad intended action if it doesn't serve a greater good. So whenever you have a desire placed in your heart, you have to have the good intention behind it, because things that are not with good intentions will they're not receiving the nutrients from source, right? So they're not receiving the frequencies that they need to manifest further people, places, and things and occurrences in their life to keep that objective to keep going, because it is because God hasn't allowed it to, and God can quickly siphon that energy off. So man was created in the image of God. This is what separates us from animals. We are given God consciousness. We have the ability to discern. So that's why when it says man was created in the image of God, God shares his imagination with man. When we are able to stay rooted to your highest discernment of your self-image, you are then able to allow self-love and appreciation into your imagination and heart, and then you are able to radiate that out to others and appreciate them for who they are. And then you're able to see the true beauty in others. So you had to love yourself before you can love others. And once you're in love with, the way you are, the way you look, the way you your experiences, once you become in love with that, you're able to see the other flaws in other people and love those flaws. And I wouldn't even say so much flaws, because everyone has flaws, so who am I to judge what the flaws of someone else are? But seeing that vulnerability in another person is beautiful. Seeing that confidence in another person is beautiful. So because I have dropped judgment and on myself, I'm able to radiate that and share it to others, because you can't share what you don't have. But once you have it, it is one of the biggest gifts you can ever have. I truly think so. Because the physical world reflects the spiritual world, in order to manifest something in the external world, it must be first harmonized in the spiritual world. After it is harmonized with the best intentions, that frequency has been sent through the universe and is complete. In order to expedite that authentic desire, one can honor God, and God will simply honor you. God only says one thing, that's yes. God only says, yes. God, I don't know if I can. Yes, you're right. God, actually, I think I can do this. Yes, you're right. You're completely right. God, what if this person's going to think this about me? They might. Yeah, you're probably. God, I don't really care if that person thinks this about me. I'm just going to be confident, and everything's going to be authentic. Yeah, you're right. It's going to go well. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Oh, this venture that I'm doing right now is going to be successful. That's why I'm steadfast. Yeah, you're right. So you're constantly recording here in your memories, but the universe is constantly recording you. So whether you think you can or you think you can't, either way you're right. I got this tattoo on my arm. It's not scripture, it's Henry Ford. Henry Ford said that. It spoke so profoundly to me that I just decided to get it tattooed when I was younger. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, either way you're right. That parlays into what we just spoke about. So whether you think you can, Or you think you can't. Either way, you're right. Oh, I don't know if I could do this. Yeah, you're right. Well, actually, I think I can do this. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Because it's the thinking that makes it so. It is the thinking that makes it so. All external things are always changing. Wisdom never changes. All is mind. Remember that. When you chain yourself to the material, you will be constantly influenced by things that will change. Beauty, money, philosophies, opinions. But when you chain yourself to wisdom, the gifts of the world will start seeking you, because that is where all benevolence comes from. It is a real Garden of Eden. It is your real home. And that's all for this video. Is completion. Stay tuned for the next episode. And any questions, just drop in the comments.